So, Rooster Teeth's dead. What's going on, Internet? Xiagax here. Today is a somber day. Well, actually, yesterday would have been one, but I'm a little bit behind the subject, and I'm now making this video at almost 4 in the morning, but who cares? That's neither here nor there. As the title suggests, Rooster Teeth is shuttering its doors. They are closing up shop, and they are 100% done. They're done. I don't know how else to put it. And this is my ramble video. As a former fan, somebody who really used to enjoy their content, but over time, I started to really hate some of the BS that was associated with them. I should note, though, that not everything that happened with them was bad. I do have some good experiences, obviously, finding their content. I think I actually was explained Red versus Blue from a classmate when I was in, was it 2008? Yeah, 2008 in Casa Grande, Arizona. I was a sophomore in high school. Found some funny videos, tried describing it to a friend, and he's just like, oh yeah, Red versus Blue, yeah, you should totally check it out. You know, the first episode explains, well, you know, why we're here. Wasn't quite exactly like that, but yeah, you get the idea. I think about a couple years later, I was trying to look for that same clip, and then I found Achievement Hunter's Fails of the Week, and that got me hooked because I was quite entertained. I was quite entertained of people failing miserably in a game, and they were basically showing it off. That's also what really got me into Halo. It was, I knew I was already into Halo. I had played previous Halo titles before Reach, but that was definitely a big influence in what got me into Reach. And while playing Reach, I managed to also score a game night with Ray back when he was working there for the 3 years. He said 3 years that he was there. And I got to play a game of Headhunter with him and about, I want to say 6 other people, because what is it, 8 people? I forget. But yeah, there was a bunch of us. I got destroyed. I managed to score 1 skull by the time the game was over, and according to Ray, it was the special skull. He had a way of making light of less than desirable outcome. On top of that, I also had my own contribution here to Rooster Teeth in the form of my own submission when I actually finally managed to get my Xbox. And I think this was after about maybe a year or a year and a half after owning Reach. But finally had something worth sending to them, and this is what it was.
It's really funny.
That's great. All right, here's Xiagax. I don't know how you say his name. And watch the crappy throw, and it's a spiders. Kill it.
Oh. I like he tried to step on it.
Yeah, he was like, oh, God, what the hell's going on here? Oh,
that's really funny, too.
He almost got it. He almost stepped on it.
He almost did.
I
wonder if he would have destroyed it.
And that was my clip. God, that brings back memories. I think, what was that? That was 11 years ago. You can't see it. I'm in the way. But either way. But yeah, that was my contribution to Fails of the Week. I remember being really stoked because I thought, oh my God, I got a clip failed on, failed feature. Fail featured on Fails of the Week, and at the time, being young and dumb, thought, oh, this will propel me into YouTube stardom. Spoiler alert, it did not. Still kind of working on that. But you know what? Hey, there's still benefits of being a small YouTuber, like not being beholden to a strict schedule. But that's neither here nor there. Let's move on here. Yeah, those are the couple of the good things that I can think that came out of Rooster Teeth, as well as the entertainment that they brought me as a young teenager. But yeah, needless to say, they obviously didn't. The good stuff didn't stay that way. I remember after dropping out of college for the first time, I submitted several applications to Rooster Teeth and never heard back on a single one. Never. That's not really that big of a deal, though, because honestly, I'm kind of glad that I managed to go back to college and go get my computer and computer science. And honestly, it kind of felt like I dodged a bullet after never hearing from any. I mean, I don't know if I just didn't have a portfolio or what. And then there was also, I think it was not long after getting my membership. I think eventually I managed to get membership after finally getting a reasonable amount of money after getting out of a crap job that only paid me minimum wage that could get away with doing it because I still am on the spectrum. I was considered disabled. So yeah, they could get away with paying me peanuts. So once I finally got a decent job to actually pay for membership, I started looking around, started trying to make connections on the Rooster Teeth site, and I think that's where probably shouldn't have done that. The way that their website used to be formatted was that looked like it was trying to emulate Facebook, which for a fan site doesn't really work. I mean, for Facebook it works because that's supposed to be for more direct personal connections with people that you know, whereas with a fan site, you're there for the content. You're there for it to be a fan, so it makes no sense to try to have direct personal connections. So it was a little off-putting when I had about a dozen or so people basically just like tell me, "Do I know you?" And I just said, "Just trying to get to know people in the community," and they just messaged back like, "I only add people that I know in real life." So kind of felt like they're being like high and mighty and exclusionary for the sake of like, "I don't know you," blah blah blah, something anxiety, whatever BS that people hadn't come up with a name for yet. And then I think there was the gauntlet, and I'm not 100% sure if I was correct on this, but I had a weird feeling when I watched it. It just felt like that there was some kind of preferential treatment going on with certain fans. I don't know if I'm right about this or not. I don't know, but there was just a weird feeling that I had because I just thought, here's this game show that everyone was invited to take part of, and I never heard about it. I'm sure I wasn't the only one that maybe missed out on it, but I don't know, maybe I was a little bit jelly that there were some people that were able to compete for cash prizes literally just playing gaming challenges and being able to win a bunch of money, and would have been nice, but I don't know. That's where I kind of started to get like a bit of a pit in my stomach that something's not right here. And then there was while I was pretty much getting knee deep into the community, started to find out just how progressive the audience was. I generally tend to not try to bring in politics or any other hot button topic onto my channel because it just divides people. I want to make content that is accessible to everyone, that doesn't divide people. We can all chill and have a good time. The problem is that a lot of the progressive politics started to make their way into the Rooster Teeth community, and it was really, really annoying to have to listen to. But for some reason, I put up with it. I don't know why. Until I didn't. But I think that's where yeah. What ended up happening was, I think eventually there was one guy that was clearly having some emotional issues, I should just say it outright. He was having anger issues and was basically blowing up at everyone, and should have seen it coming because he had posted prior to like, "Why am I so fragile?" Well, I don't know. Why are you? Maybe you should get some help with that. But then literally next day posts something that he didn't agree with, something related to Mike Pence about signing something into law, and the guy flew into a blind rage, and nobody, the only thing that you could really do to quell this guy's anger was to basically agree with him. I didn't do that, and I got a slew of anger and hate and vitriol, and when I didn't want to put up with it anymore and responded in kind, that's when the admins decided to go ahead and start taking posts of mine down. And I was just like, no, you're not going to do that. That's not okay. This guy doesn't get to be a jackass and get away with it. And then that's when an admin finally decided to give me an IP ban, which was about as effective as a wet sock. Because I was just able to get around it. I mean, all one has to do is change their IP address, and boom, you're back in. But yeah, I got removed temporarily because I didn't have the right opinions. I had wrongthink. So that was honestly a little bit off-putting. It just felt like this is kind of unfair. It's a little bit unfair that this guy gets to be a royal jackass because he's got anger issues. And now he's going to take it out on other people because he doesn't like what's going on in the world. In addition to that, I kind of started to see that other people were just as fragile because you were now also not allowed to be critical of Achievement Hunters or Rooster Teeth's content. You could not. You had to be a yes man. You couldn't say anything that expressed that you thought there were flaws in the content or how they could do better. I think this is where people were kind of figuring out criticism is not hate. So maybe get your panties out of a wad and let people be critical. As I recall, Toto Biscuit before his passing, critique is what makes this industry better. Now, I'm sure he was referring to gaming critique or reviewing, but you could say that about any industry. You got to be able to take criticism, otherwise you're never going to get better. I mean, you're never going to be perfect. So, and in that vein, that's also where basically, in addition to just being unable to critique anything, it was almost as if you were also expected to kind of worship the staff, like they could do no wrong. And that's where that did not sit okay with me, and it was also to a point where like there was a lot of brown nosing the staff, and it was just like, guys, this is not healthy. I mean, there were almost like people that were like ready to worship the ground. Like even some of the lesser known staff walked on them. It's kind of ridiculous. What started really rubbing me the wrong way is when content would be made and then released. Within about a day or so, you would have about key staff that were already on Twitter or whatever social media. And the first thing coming out of their mouth is like, hey, we just made this video. Have you watched this video? You should absolutely go watch this video. Basically just shoving it in your face. Like, yeah, I watched it. I watched the content. You don't need to tell me like 3 days after the fact. You don't need to continue to keep spamming me with this. And it wasn't just like a couple of staff. It was like, a set of 3, and then like a couple days later, another 3 or 4 would then tweet about it, and it's like they would never shut up about it. Like, okay, I'm glad that you take pride in your work. There is a right way and a wrong way to market it, and this is definitely the wrong way. I do not need it spammed to me, and I'm sure other people felt the same way. So, not long after that, that's when I started to notice like just the constant in your face, just like promoting their videos to people that are already going to watch it. I started to notice I was being treated less like a fan and more like a number, and that was a bit heartbreaking. Well, it was heartbreaking. Just felt when you find out that they don't care about you as a person; they care about you as a dollar sign. There was something very minor. I was trying to get my branding for my channel lined up with my RT site page. So I needed to change my name because before I used to, if you were watching this channel before, I used to go by Mr. Dragon Rider 2012. Thought that was kind of a mouthful, so I changed it to Xiagax. Not like that's much better, but either way. I wanted the RT site page to match my name, so I had to go to either Barbara or Caleb at the time, because they're both community managers, to ask about a name change on their website. Well, I messaged them both, and I messaged them both hoping that I would actually get a response, because I didn't know if maybe I messaged one and they completely missed it. But I messaged Barbara first, and in order to save on time, I copied and pasted the email. but not before completely forgetting that I needed to change who I was addressing the message to. So Caleb ended up getting it, and that's when I get an email back basically saying, I'm not Barbara. No need to send more than one email. And then just ended the conversation just like that. Just blew me off. Like, you couldn't say like, hey, like, okay, hey, I'm not Barbara, but that's okay. Haha, that's funny. What can I help you with? Honestly, I mean, Caleb really showcased like some terrible customer service right there. Just getting butthurt because I referred to him by the wrong name. Like seriously, Caleb, what is your deal? So I had to practically beg Caleb like some odd months later, like, can I please get this name changed? It finally happened, but it was really off-putting to just be like, yeah, I don't give a shit about your concern because you addressed me by the wrong name. Next. And then there was some months later, I know it was on Facebook that I was seeing this because I think I was actually following like Bernie's page. He had like a page set up for him personally on Facebook, and what I remember was that there was a constant promotion for The Amazing Race. I absolutely did not care about it. I didn't want to watch The Amazing Race. I was not there watching Rooster Teeth content to be told about The Amazing Race. I was there to watch Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter content. I did not care about anything else. Just thought it was weird to constantly be like, hey, watch this. This, one of our members just happens to be a part of this. Like, I don't care. I want to watch what you guys make, not what you just happen to be a part of. And I voiced my displeasure in that. Not only that, because people from, in Europe and Australia, they couldn't watch it. This was totally an American show. They couldn't watch any of that. And boy, did I get chewed out from Bernie, and he basically treated me like garbage. And of course, rabid fans followed suit. Because once again, you're not to be critical of anything Achievement Hunter or Rooster Teeth related. So I got shit on, and that's where I just basically, I continue to not take shit, and I remember Bernie saying something to the effect of like, does your mommy know that you're using the internet? It's probably past your bedtime. Just completely just amazed of like the absolute disrespect. Like I didn't know what to say. And then it got even worse when I believe it was who is it, the senior director or somebody I know is pretty high up, Frank O'Connor. What does he do at Bungie? I don't know, because I'm not seeing his name show. I'm putting his name in Google, and I'm getting the author. Either way, but yeah, Frank O'Connor decided to chime in just to get one more lick in, and I think that's what basically convinced me. Yeah, I'm not getting any more Halo. Used to enjoy it, but honestly, if that's how I'm being treated by somebody from a studio that I used to respect, well, I don't respect them anymore. Can't remember exactly what he said, but basically just something like it was unnecessary. Like there was no reason to try to get one more lick into, to brown nose Bernie. I think what my breaking point was when I had a crush on somebody, and this is well before Stasia. Yeah, yes, I had a crush on people before her. I was kind of crushing on somebody, especially somebody out of the States, and I thought, and I still had the same idea of like, people have long distance relationships all the time. It's a lot easier nowadays than it was like 20 years ago, especially with the internet, texting, video chats. This person did not reciprocate, and I could understand if they had a respectful response like, hey, sorry, I don't feel the same way. Don't give up. I'm sure there's somebody out there for you. Good luck to you. This person did not do that. This young woman felt it was necessary to be catty and petty and just downright nasty. I just kind of glossed through the message because honestly, I just saw a bit of a part of it, and I was just blown away by just like how just annoyed this person was. I mean, even though all I did was drop hints. That's all I did, is just drop a couple of hints that I had feelings for this person. I wasn't like obnoxious about it or anything. And the one line in that message that stuck out when she messaged me was like, "I'm no stranger to awkward boys, but that's all you are to me, is a boy." Like, I think I needed to see a list of burn centers nearby. Because honestly, that was rough. You're basically being treated like a child because you didn't quite know how to express your feelings in the most mature manner. I mean, believe me, I know. I had some growing to do in my 20s yet. Kind of comes with the territory as somebody on the spectrum. So I think not long after that, that's where I just kind of started thinking to myself, why do I keep coming back to the abuse? I don't know. Why do I keep paying for this experience? So eventually I got to a point of just canceling my membership. And the last thing that I had to say before my membership expired was a post on the RT site that said something to the effect of, "Just canceled my membership. No fucks given." Because I was done. I didn't want to deal with the abuse anymore. I was tired of going into a community where I was going to be frustrated with people and that were going to generally be toxic and nasty, and I didn't need that anymore. So I left. And even then, the controversies didn't end. It seemed like it was just getting started. I think not too long after me leaving, I think there was when the No put out their infamously shit take on Battlefield, where of course they had to promote more DEI, and women's rights. I say that in jest, obviously, but they had to put out this message of women are stronger than men. Why aren't there any women on the front lines for Battlefield? Well, it wasn't historically accurate. The game was trying to be historically accurate, and there weren't women serving in the front lines of World War I. You could argue, well, there was that Russian battalion of snipers. Yeah, that was all. That was all kind of that was an outlier. That was an exception to the rule, not the actual rule. Of course, I mean, and they were just so brazen about it. Like, screw, man. Like, and of course I think this would be better explained by like Rags. He had a nice long video on it, and if you actually have the time to actually watch it, I certainly will. I will actually put the link in the description to that video. But yeah, it just felt very insulting. Like, you people are stupid for not having women in your game. Are you really afraid of women? Like, no. It's just, it would be an immersion breaking experience to put something in a game that is trying to be historically accurate that is not historically accurate. And then there was the big one. Oh yeah, there was the sex scandals by Ryan and Adam. Can't say I really knew Adam too much because I didn't really care for Funhouse too much. And I think Funhouse was actually where they were actually starting to get good at actually learning to take criticism. That said, it's a little bit too little too late. Didn't really care. Didn't know who they were. But yeah, it was a mess, especially hearing about how Ryan was doing some not safe for work things with underage fans. Absolutely not okay. Absolutely disgusting. There should have absolutely been consequences for that. However, we didn't really see any. But I think what I also got really tired of as well was the way people were reacting to it like years after the fact. I understand being outraged about it and saying there should have absolutely been consequences, like, there should have been charges brought up. But there were like people literally just losing their shit over this. Like, they were getting like triggered. Like, full on like having like an emotional panic attack. I know I'd seen somebody on Reddit basically saying like they were using like their justification of like their reaction because they saw it in a dream. Like, come on, grow up. Like, again, I can understand being upset that somebody you looked up to did something really nasty and did something very illegal. But you don't need to act like a baby about it. You're an adult. Act like it. And then, alongside that, there was also the racism and sexism allegations from Micah. I think that's how you're saying her name. I don't know. I never heard it out loud. Jordy LaForge's IRL daughter. Yeah, I know she's related to LeVar. Lamar? I'm tired. Sorry. Anyhow, yeah, there was also the allegations of racism and sexism, which were basically substantiated by Micah, and really not cool. It's very hypocritical of Rooster Teeth to be all, really inclusive and respecting of everyone, and it was a safe place, and yet they did the very things they did the very things that they said they were against. Yeah, it was not looking good for the company. Wasn't looking good for anyone. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like, at this point, it's like, am I surprised anymore of the shit they got themselves into? Somebody actually had a really interesting thing that they tweeted out here that I fully agree with. I don't think I can, in all honesty, mourn for Rooster Teeth after all that's happened and as it exists now. But I can mourn for what it once was, and I can remember the impact that the creators had on the internet as a whole and on me. Well said, Mr. That GG at the Upbringer. I would have to agree with that. I mean, yeah, I would have to agree that they certainly had an impact on me. I got into Halo because of them, and I got out of Halo because of them. I mean, I also continued to push to be a content creator, I guess, because of Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter. And I would also say, not really no thanks to them, I kind of learned to be better. I kind of had to learn how to get better at making content myself, but I think really, it also just kind of, it certainly kind of really exposed me to a lot of this far left garbage that honestly, that just it is so irritating to see in entertainment. And I guess now I'm ready to kind of have to be ready to deal with that in the future. Seems like we're doing a much better job of actually calling out some of this DEI, SJW pandering. I keep hearing about Sweet Baby Inc. lately, and I think that's definitely something else people are really not looking forward to hearing about anymore, because I think we're all done with it. Either way, yeah, just like the Upbringer, I would have to, again, I don't know what, there's really not more that I can say about this. It sucks that this is how Rooster Teeth is ending their 21 plus years. And all I can say is I'm never going to forget that opening line in episode 1 of RVB. You ever wonder why we're here? One of life's greatest mysteries, isn't it? In some regards, I'm going to miss Rooster Teeth, but in some others, I'm just going to say, see you later. There's the door. Hopefully, I do also wish a good luck to those who are now being let go from the company to find some proper jobs. Hopefully, this will be a humbling experience. And that's really all I have to say on this topic. There's nothing more that I can do except continue to reminisce about the old days of RTNA and Achievement Hunter. Still kind of running games with the Achievement Hunter mindset, just doing what I can to 100% games if I can, if I have the skill for it. Wouldn't mind getting that 100k gamer score by the end of the year, but that remains to be seen. So yeah, I have no more to say about this topic other than it was kind of a good run. It was in the early days, but yeah, good riddance to Rooster Teeth. Hope you guys learned your lesson that, everything that woke turns to shit. That's it. So if you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and sub down below. I will see you in the next one.